Ylopo did was they hired people that are running successful real estate businesses. So Gabe and I are what they call realtors in residence. And so Gabe and I are brought into different departments within the company to make sure that we advocate for real estate agents and what actually is going to work. And so I would say about 9 months ago, Gabe and I began to really lobby for more seller-focused tools because we knew that the market was changing. And what Ylopo has been able to come up with, and some of the things we'll go over today, has increased the number of seller leads by about 400%.
I think the coolest part, click on the little sandwich button, scroll down, you can see your members, all the events, but the mini master classes, that's what's going to set this apart, along with the master classes that are coming. But now you can click on the mini master class that you like. It's broken down into sections. You've got the process here. You can scroll down, watch the video if you want. They're not very long. They're about 5 minutes each. And you can go and click on the PDF, and there you have all the notes for that specific mini master class. To me,
we are live, you guys. I am totally look at that. Barry always is normal. This is his normal side, by the way, from what I know him. I've known him for so long. But hey guys, I'm so totally excited. See, I'm fumbling through my words today because I'm excited to have my amazing coach, Barry Jenkins, who has, been with Ylopo forever. He is the residential real estate agent there with an amazing team as well. And of course, we have our amazing Gabe that is always Ylopo, everything Ylopo, from marketing.
Well, he's also one of our realtors in residence. Gabe and I run that department.
There we go. Both of you guys are residential realtors there, and senior. Should I say the word senior? Is that okay to use?
Well, you can say Jerry, but Barry is the Jerry. See, I just did it, Jerry. We either get called Jerry for Gabe and Barry, or we get called Babe sometimes for Barry and Gabe. So it just depends.
Yeah.
But we can call him the OG, the senior, the older one, even though I think I'm older. But whatever it takes.
Whatever floats everyone's boat. But here's the thing. I love those t-shirts because guess what? My husband was wearing the same one this morning as well. So he does, wear Ylopo t-shirts around the house. And I'm like, yeah, I know. It's Ylopo. It's all about Ylopo. But hey, today, everyone who's joining us, please tell us city and state you guys are from. And I'd love to kind of get this started sooner than later. So tell us city and state and where you're from. Again, this is going to be recorded. I love Ylopo. I'm going to start off by saying that, or what do other people call it? Ylopo or whatever the name is. It's not other names. It's Ylopo. Okay. Anyway, we've got people all the way San Jose. Wow, right here, Barry, Silicon Valley. Welcome. We've got Gloucester County, New Jersey, Manila, Philippines. Wow.
There we go.
That's one of my team members. But hey, they're here. I'm so glad they're gonna learn. My amazing database manager. Okay, so Austin. We've got San Antonio, Ventura. Hey, amazing. Wisconsin, you guys. We got.
Come on, where are my Idaho folks and Colorado folks? Come on, we need to be.
I got my Silicon Valley folks here, so that's awesome. I love it. All right, so we're going to dive right into this. We're going to talk about. Let's just put it out there. We're going to talk about open house tools, seller suites, Dyva, Rhea. Oh my God, seller reports, and of course, Ylopo website, seller website. Let's dive into that, Barry, and then Google PPC. All things sellers, because guess what? Market is shifting. We need all the help we can. So take it away. Please.
Thank you so much. Gabe, do you want to share your screen and we can kind of go through some of the exciting features? What? Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah. Do you want to do an intro, kind of where you're at in your position? I mean, with Ylopo, but also people understand like you're running teams and you're in the weeds day to day doing all this as well.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah. Wait, Barry, I'm going to say something about you. Hey, listen, Barry, I've always said this, Mr. Barry Jenkins has been one of my coaches who, when I struggled first in Ylopo, he was always there. So you guys have to understand, Ylopo is the type of company that is always there for their realtors, number one. And number two, Barry's amazing book, Barry. And of course, both of you guys have teams there, but I did my introduction as much as I could. I can't rave any more about you guys. So Barry,
No, you're fine. What Gabe wants everybody to know that's watching is that what Ylopo did was they hired people that are running successful real estate businesses. So Gabe and I are what they call realtors in residence. And so Gabe and I are brought into different departments within the company to make sure that we advocate for real estate agents and what actually is going to work. And so I would say about 9 months ago, Gabe and I began to really lobby for more seller focused tools because we knew that the market was changing.
Mhm.
And what Ylopo has been able to come up with, and some of the things we'll go over today, has increased the number of seller leads by about 400%. And so it's a really big deal. And I'm really excited. Gabe, my team sells between 800 and 900 homes a year in Virginia Beach, Virginia. And I've been at it for 20 years and just published a book on sales as well. So that's a little bit about my resume.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah, Barry's incredible. As much crap as I give him, it's been really fun working side by side with him. And I think the
As
key,
much as
even though
crap
we're
we all give him, right, Gabe? All of us
Yes,
put him through the
more.
ringer. I did.
Well, and what we did, and we can't get into it, but Jackie was even telling us that when she first coached with Barry, he made her cry, but that's a different session.
Yes.
So completely, we're not going to go down that road. But what we do, even though we're wearing Ylopo shirts, guys, we are team leads. We're running teams. I've got a team here in Denver that we just started about a year ago. We're up to 7 agents now and really starting to crank and get things together, starting from a database of 0. And then Boise, where I've had a team for about 18 years now. We've sold upwards of 800 homes in 1 year. And now we're kind of revamping that, rebuilding it on a different tech stack. But even though we're wearing Ylopo shirts, we have our teams, we're running businesses and in the weeds with you. And what's been great about Ylopo, as Barry said, is they've brought us and others in to help explain what we're doing, why we're doing it, what we've done that doesn't work alongside what we've done that does work. And like Barry said, we have been big advocates these last 6-10 months, really focusing on how do we find more sellers? How do we get more listings? Not that we haven't always wanted as an industry to have more listings, but in what we have called a seller's market for years now and low inventory and all that, we really just started diving into the data to figure out where are these homeowners at and where maybe we not looking that we should be looking. And Ylopo has used tech to really help pull a lot of that out. So that's why we're here sharing that with you and wanted to kind of just share what Ylopo's been working on, but what they've really kind of brought Barry and myself, Laura Combrake, Livia, other realtor in residence in to kind of share to figure out, what is this like suite of seller tools that we can put together to identify sellers, right? Because they don't always come in saying, hey, I've got a home to sell. They're disguising themselves, kind of like Barry's little mask he had on earlier. They're disguising themselves as buyers or tire kickers, looky-loos, whatever it is, but not just identifying them. But now how do I get in front of them and win the listing? I think it's fair to say, and I'm curious, Barry, I mean, I'm assuming your agents like mine have been interviewing or being interviewed to win the listing more than probably ever before, right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it's not uncommon to go up against 6 or 7 other agents as well. So being able to set yourself apart is important. And most agents are still trying to use their relationship to win the business. And I think you should lead with relationship. But if you're just using relationship, I think you're missing an opportunity to give that value of why you're hiring me beyond just you like me.
You know what I love, and here's another thing, Barry, what I love about the seller tool, because I am a Ylopo user as well. And one thing I really love is if you go up a little bit more, whoever's, I think it's Gabe, right? Gabe, you know what I love is the LSA, the Google service ads, those are amazing. And Rhea, it's automated, right? And they're in the back having a conversation, but the seller reports, how awesome is it that you can actually reverse play that I learned that from you a while back, Barry, is when one of your webinars, you were talking about seller reports, right? And how
Yep.
you could actually reverse that out and let your sellers know that we have this data right here for you. And then you can start dialing. If you have ISAs, you can start dialing those as well.
That's right. That's right. And well, Gabe, since she brought that up, do you want to show homebot? I mean, not homebot, the heat map.
The heat map, yeah. So I think to kind of add some clarity, to what you're saying is, we're getting in front of these sellers. We have opportunities, and I think it takes more than a mentor, a friend of mine mentioned. It takes more than the 3 Ps, right? Which most people do. Put it in MLS, put a sign in the yard, and pray that it sells. Homes are selling, right? That's not the issue right now, but are we getting top dollar? Are we getting the most exposure to get the most amount of competing offers to drive that price up, right? And sellers want to know, what is your reach? What are you going to do? How are you going to market? And I think what Jakey was getting to is, do you actually have buyers? Are you bringing anybody to the table? So we've got a couple different tools here that are really cool. So this is our Boise site that Ylopo's done with us. And what's awesome is this tool, we've built right into your branded site, which is this that I'm showing you. And all you have to do as an agent, this is something you're going to pull up ahead of time so that you can have it on your listing appointment. But you're just going to go to your site /heat map. And what you're going to do, we'll have your team members for that city, whatever's in there. We'll be able to load those up. You put in the address of the home that you are going to on the listing appointment. And once you put it in, it'll fill it in. You complete it, put in some basic characteristics of that home. And what the system is doing is 2 different things. It's going in, finding this home. It is also going to go in and find out what buyers does your CRM or do you have in your CRM that meet the criteria of this home and that you're marketing to, as well as, and it's thinking because we're on Zoom here, come on. As well as what is our marketing reach for this? Now, there's other items in here, come on.
That marketing reach is actually from the Facebook API.
Yes.
So as it's scanning this, it's literally checking with the Facebook API to say, if we did a radius around 9737 West Poppy, how many people would we reach?
Yep.
And so this is where you're doing this because you're going to go to a seller and say, hey, you should hire me, and here's why.
Exactly.
Sorry, Gabe, go ahead.
Yep, no, you're good. So literally by just putting in the address and some basic characteristics, I like to bracket the property because I'm telling it, and these are real numbers. And sometimes I have to really drill this down. I don't want to get too in the weeds, but Boise's a big database. So as I'm putting in the characteristics, it's actually looking to see how many people I have that are looking for similar homes in my own database. What are you gonna say, Barry?
It's scanning your CRM, just to be clear. Like that number is from his Follow Up Boss account.
I was just going to ask you that, Barry. Is that also from Follow Up Boss? Because we just got Follow Up Boss and Ylopo together, and we're beginning to learn the system on the back end now.
Yeah, it's not just Follow Up Boss. I know Gabe uses Follow Up Boss, but yeah, it is for Follow Up Boss as well. And this is the report.
So that quickly, and you can customize the background image if you want this to be more like that home, the market you're looking. If you're like Barry, he likes to use my photo. It gets him a little bit higher conversion ratio than if he uses his own. But what's great is as you come down into this, it's literally pulling right now. And again, this is a database we've been building for 20 years. So right now, Ylopo is identified. I've got over 1,200 people right now in my database looking for, this is that Poppy Street, right? The address that we typed in, it identifies it on the map. And that I've got people looking at homes around it. So it's literally showing, I've got 9 people that have looked at this home. I've got 9 people that have looked here, 9, 14. This is an interactive map that I can show the seller that I actually have active buyers looking for homes like theirs. It actually pulls some of those people out, showing what they've looked at. It blurs out their personal information. And then it goes into also showing what our marketing reach is. So in addition to me having over 1,200 people, hey, the great news is, Jakey, that within 10 miles of your home, right now with my marketing firm that I employ to market your home, we can hit almost 150,000 people that have been identified through online activity to be likely to move, first-time home buyers, or recently browsed for homes. What's great is the typical agent, I'm sure you're interviewing some, they're going to throw it on their company Facebook or their personal, and they might hit a couple hundred people. And I'm going to go into a little bit of my script because I can't help it.
Oh, that would be awesome.
Janky, hey, so now that I've shown you that I have a little over 1,200 active and hot buyers looking for homes like yours, and I can show you where they're looking and my marketing reach, are you thinking, or have you interviewed other agents to sell this home?
I am. I'm actually looking at 4 other agents. Yeah, Barry, I am.
Perfect. And of the ones you've met so far, have they shown you a list of their active and hot buyers and an actual marketing reach for your address?
No, none of them have. In fact, you're the last one that I'm interviewing, but yeah, nobody has.
Perfect. Awesome. And if you happen to interview anybody else, please, this is something I really encourage you to make sure that the agent that you hire that's going to market your home to get the most amount of eyes on it, to drive that bidding war and price up, shows you a list of their active and hot buyers and their marketing reach.
So you're saying that this is actually in your database right now?
Yeah, I could literally generate a list for you right now of 1,241 people. So what's great, Janky, is I want to create demand for your home. All right, I can use the 3 Ps, right? Put it in our MLS, put a sign in the yard, and pray that it sells for top dollar. But the more people I can get seeing your home, the more demand I can drive for it, the higher the price is going to be. So even before hitting the market right now, I can reach out as like these teaser photos once we've got the agreement signed and start teasing this listing to at least 1,241 people in my database today before it hits the market. And then in addition, through our marketing videos, which I'm going to show you here in a minute, examples of what we're going to do. We call them these Dyva videos. We're going to get it out there and get it in front of almost another 150,000 people that we haven't met yet, so that I am marketing your home. At the end of the day, you're hiring a marketing firm right now to sell your home in addition to a real estate agent.
Wow. Yeah.
And what's great about this, this is accessible. So when my ISAs or my agents are prospecting and they talk to someone that has an address, a home address that's looking to sell, they just go to this website and quickly, while they're on the phone, pull this report, and they can print it or save it as a PDF, or they can just send this link. And with the link, you can zoom in where the house is. It's a live map view. That heat map is not just a static map. It's actually like, a real map. And you can really play with it because we have their search behavior on our website, and we can zoom in, zoom out, and all that stuff. So this is and one thing I love about your script, Gabe, is you really do have something unique when you say you should ask the other agents if they have this. That Absolutely. Is such a power play. And nobody else does have this, by the way. Nobody else has a heat map that scans your database. So this really does set us apart when we're going on listing appointments.
Let me ask you guys this, both of you, before we dive into it further, is how, if you're a Ylopo, how do you get to this particular, where can they find this information, like this website? Is it their branded site?
Yep.
Okay.
Great question. We want to make sure. So all they need to do is just go to their branded site for their team, their company, whatever it is, right? So whatever their website is, and then all they do is they're going to put on / and the word heat map. That's it. Awesome. Once they do that, that's going to take them to this billboard, and it is anybody, right? So they can load their picture. It's going to pull it in straight from Ylopo. They type in the address. They're just on that same path again. So everybody that's in Ylopo has access to this on that branded site. And what's great too, just to back up a little bit, we role played, and I think you mentioned, that I was the last agent, right? And our coaches and stuff over the time, it's always like, hey, try to come in after so you can get it signed.
Exactly.
But let's be real world, right? Is that always the case? Or sometimes at the beginning, so it's not. The thing that has really worked well for us on that script is, if I'm at the end, it's did they show you? And most of the time they're going to say no. If you do happen to be first and people are coming in afterwards, then it's perfect. I'm glad I showed you this. Make sure you ask the other agent to show you their list of active and hot buyers and their marketing reach. So it still helps you. Yes. And
I haven't gone over everything I do. So let's set up a time to sync back up after you've spoken with the other agents. Is 2:00 on Friday good for you? So you end up being the last person, even if And I like this approach, by the way, because one, I'm coming across as confident, which I am. I'm setting myself apart, but I also I think I'm doing a service to the client by doing it this way. I feel like the agents that go, and I know we're like going all into scripting and
It's
stuff,
okay.
but I feel like if they just go to get the listing agreement signed really quick, that does work. But you know, it's just not my style. I'll just put it that way.
So let's kind of stay, if it's okay, Jacob, what I'd like to do. So we kind of talked about using the heat map on the listing appointment, and that we're going to create this Dyva video, and that we're going to get it in front of them. But let's stay in that vein. So we win the listing, right? We get it. What does this video look like? How do we actually now start showing them? Because as agents, a lot of times, and we're going into markets where we're seeing some normalization, where days on market are getting more normal, right? Everybody's panicking like, oh my gosh, it's been on for a week or two. This is normal, right? This is what we want.
That's exactly what I said. This is very normal. Now we're coming back to normalcy in our markets, not the heat. And this is where your scripts will come into value, right? This is what you say matters more than anything right now.
Yeah. And then showing them what you promised, right? So we've, those that have been in business for a while, we take listings and you say, yes, I'm doing marketing, but if we're really being honest, the sellers see value, or they see marketing where they can literally see it. Are you going to do an open house? Where is that video? Like if they can't see it or almost touch it, they don't really believe that work's being done. Exactly. So let's stay in that same vein. What I want to show you is, and that we love that Ylopo's made very easy for us, is being able to create these ads, get them out there, but then also report back. Because if I can show a seller, and in Boise, we are seeing some price reductions, we're seeing some normalization. We're actually, even in Denver, seeing some, our inventories increase. So, when we can show activity and we can show things, it's easier to talk to the seller about the market is indicating we might need to adjust the price. So for example, I'm going to pull up, once we create one of these video ads that we're going to get out there on social media to hit those thousands of people, we need to be able to generate a report to show the sellers, right? We want to back up what we said we were going to do. It's as easy as just logging into your Ylopo marketing dashboard. I've got a couple running here, and I'm going to show you exactly what we do. So every week that a home's been on, we want to go in and pull a report to see what's going on. So it's literally just find the address of one that you're marketing. I like the website link versus downloading, because it's live, I can send it. So all I need to do is literally come in, click the website link button. It's actually going to go in. I can grab this to send to my seller if I want to, but I like to review them first. I'm just going to pull it up. So it's now going to show me what I was talking about that seller, of part of the reach that I'm doing and people who are going to see these ads. It's going to automatically pull in the home I should have picked a prettier home, but that's all right. It's going to pull in what's going on.
Good enough. But look at the data. That's more what we should focus on, right? Look at the data that 100%. Is showing us here. I love this report.
Yeah, we're only a week in on this particular home. This is not the one I did the example on. So when we would have presented this, I'd say, hey, we have almost 7,000 people over 30 days that we can get to see your home. We're a week in. Right now, we've had over 2,400 people who have seen it. Over 1,400 who have actually watched the video. And this is the video that gets created by basically typing in an MLS number and hitting create, right? And I'll just play it really quick for everybody. And Barry just showed me a trick, so I'm going to actually click the right button to share sound so I don't mess it up.
This is so, and 30 minutes or 45 minutes is too short of a time for us. If every single Ylopo seller, we're not even talking buyer side, you guys, we're only talking seller has to offer. So we do have to do this again, you guys. Definitely.
Yeah, sorry, I just realized the time, Barry, and I'm talking nonstop. I'm so sorry, but
I love it. Go for it.
I'm going to show you the video real quick. So this basically was created by typing in an MLS number and hitting create.
Very simple. And this is something you can send to sellers.
I'm going to play the whole thing for time, but it's geared obviously to buyers, but this is my seller's home. So I'm showing them the video that was created that has been seen 2,400 times, actually entirely watched 1,400, expressed interest, meaning they clicked on the ad, right? 238 people clicked on the ad, and then 4 of them have actually registered, coming in wanting to receive more information. Here's other competition that's going on, but I'm actually able to show them and back up what I told them I was going to do.
Again,
right, so it's a big
value proposition right here.
Yes.
Value added proposition. Hey guys, I do want to let everyone know Ylopo is currently offering $500 off setup costs exclusive for LCA members. So, if you are interested in signing up, please do click on the link that Jake has just posted up there. All right, guys, go for it. Sorry.
No, you're good. So, sorry, Barry, am I missing something there?
No, this is great, man. You're going over everything. I mean, when we made this report, that the Dyva listing rocket report, when we made that, what was in our head, actually, if you could pull it back up, was when we created it 2 years ago, and there were still listings that sometimes weren't selling. And so in our head, we were like, is there a report that we can send a homeowner that basically will give us more time? And part of when you go back to a seller, I know some of you that are new to the business don't know what this is like, but there's coming a day when the market will be normal again, and your seller will come to you and call you and say, why hasn't my house sold?
Yeah.
And what you do is you can give them this and say, well, the last ad I ran was 2,000 people, but over the next 30 days, I'm going to keep it running. I think I'll reach this many people. And if you go down to the bottom, there used to be a List Hub. Oh, yours doesn't do it for some reason. That's interesting. How we're advertising your home to exclusive network. So there's like an option. Oh, no, it's there. Sorry, it just reoriented. So he's sending listing alerts, right, to his leads when they generate leads. Well, 108 times, one of the listings that he sent was that particular listing. And then one of the times, when people do land on the website, they look at homes, and 1,700 times his seller, that house was on his website being displayed when someone was looking at it. There's another metric of the number of people that have actually clicked the photos within the, that's from the ads, but the other metric sometimes at the bottom shows that as well. And so this allows you to run one dynamic listing video that's automatically created. And after about a week, you've got this report that really does a good job. And we added the comps in there so that, if there were a bunch of homes that sold in the area and their home still hasn't, it's kind of like price, price. Look, three other homes just sold, price.
And that's exactly right. It's not if and when the day is coming. We actually have 2 listings right now that this has helped us inform the seller. They were pushing the market. We saw indications that we were probably pricing it a tiny bit high. The market has kind of taught them they can still do that, but it is more normalizing. These have helped us educate them on what the market is saying, and that we're getting it in front of them, right? We either need to improve the property condition or reduce the price as long as we're getting seen. So if we can show them that we're getting it seen, and that's the biggest thing that the seller cares about, right? What are you doing to market my home? Well, let me show you who's seeing it. I can't change the condition of it. I can make it more great.
And especially in this market, right? I mean, you can actually do any kind of ads. You can do a video type ad. You can do carousel photo ads, right? The dynamic videos are amazing, especially open house. It's a great open house tool as well. And again, like I said, we just touched on very, very brief part of what Ylopo can do. We've not even gone into, other things like the seller suite of tools that we have. So there's so much information right here as well. What else can you tell us, Barry? Or Gabe?
Go ahead, G.
Show them this really quick. So this was for the seller, but I also want to show that this does generate leads as well.
Yes.
Right. So for those of you, so I can just quickly see, and this ad's just, like I said, we just learned. So I can also see, in addition to all that exposure, I've got 4 people that it's actually generated on as well. So I just wanted to highlight the fact it's not just a seller tool, but also brings in buyer. Go ahead, Brady.
And you can see how many times it was viewed as well between the 2 ads as well. You can see the clicks. I mean, all the data is right here for you. Now we could also do a carousel photo ad too, right?
Yep. So, if you go to the seller page that we've created, the ylopo.com/seller, that's a comprehensive overview of generating listing leads, nurturing your listing leads, and then helping you win the appointment when you get in front of them. So you can go through and you can do a deep dive on all these different categories. I'll tell you that keeping a homeowner interested in the content you're providing them is not easy to do.
No.
And when we took a look at homebot, we said, man, this is really good stuff. And the challenge with homebot is it at the time, and it's still not great, doesn't really integrate with much. And so what we did was we took the beauty of the homebot report, merged it with what we were already doing for sellers and our integration with the CRM. And so now when homeowners are engaging this report from homebot, which shows them how much equity they have, it's really a compelling report. We inform the agent, right, in their CRM, like this person's engaging this report. And then we wrote Raya, which is true artificial intelligence.
Yes.
And she is actually texting the homeowner, and she does a scan of your CRM as well. I have 322 people shopping for a home like yours in my database right now. This is incredible. Barry would love to talk. So there's a lot of seller. Yeah, right there. There's the alert, which normally you've got to go into homebot and research all this stuff, because the way that homebot was designed, it actually wasn't designed to be used for lead gen. And we decided that it should be, and we were right. And you look at this report, it does the value of the home, and then it also shows what they owe on their mortgage. And then they do the math and say, this is how much equity you have. And then they give you lots of other details of what you paid on principal and interest. I get one of these on my home. How horrible the rates are right now. So you'd lose money if you refied, and how much you would rent for on Airbnb. And so it's a really great setup.
It all feeds into your CRM, which is great, right? So we're going in, and any type of lead generation we're doing through Ylopo or past clients or people we're meeting at open houses, anybody we can get an address for, putting them into the Ylopo's version of the homebot report, because it's sending them the homebot report. It's also pairing it with market stats, market data. So not just the homebot report, but now it's sending them active listings that may be impacting their value, other homes that have sold in the area, price up, price down, demand. So it's really taking this whole suite of information from homebot and from the MLSs, tying it together and packaging it, and then alerting you inside your CRM. So everything is still inside your CRM.
Right. Everything is within your CRM, including Raya. I mean, it's just amazing to see in the back end that they're talking, and you get an email, you get a text message, and you know when to interrupt the conversation if you need to. If you're just sitting around watching them talking and you want to interrupt that conversation, say, yeah, I'm right here right now, I can call you. You can do that as well, which I love, because that definitely does work for our team as well.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So we do have some questions. Neil is asking about the setup fee, how much it actually is. I don't remember. I'm going to guess and say, then you'll quote me and then I'll get in trouble. I don't know what the setup, I don't think it's much more than that. But as far as what's involved, we don't use, like, normally when you buy a website from a lead gen provider, it's like everybody kind of has the same thing. It's just different colors. And that is not Ylopo. Like, you get a really incredible custom website built on top of Squarespace. Which, if you don't know much about website design, that doesn't sound like a big deal. But, normally when you buy a website, they have like this really janky, that's funny.
Here we go. Butchering my name again, Barry.
Sorry. Back end where, like, you can change a couple of colors. You're very limited in what you can do and not do. Squarespace is built for website designers to do whatever you want. And you don't really need to have experience doing web design, because it's a drag and drop platform. So you get a website. I forget how many hours that you get. I'm not in sales, so I wouldn't. But you can go on the Ylopo.com website and ask for a demo, and they can do one for you.
And it's not a one size fits all, I think, too. It's hard to answer because it's not one size fits all. Some might want website and lead generation, or not this or that. You really kind of, it's a digital marketing company, right? So you customize it to what your business needs are, and it's going to change as you grow and scale your business.
Yeah, exactly. And then Judy asked a question, where do I go to create these ads? So that is
the video ads?
Yeah, the video ads.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Let me just show you how easy it is. Guys, Ylopo's made this incredibly easy, right? So if I want to come in here and create one of those ads, I literally just type in the MLS number. It's going to pull in the photos, pull in the information, And there's a bunch of different ones to choose from. It'll automatically default to one, pull in my information. If I don't want to do anything else, I literally put in an MLS number and hit create. It's done. I could hit save, and here's what it would look like with my photos. Whatever video, there's a bunch of different versions to do it, but literally all I have to do is hit launch. I put in an MLS number. Now, if I want to customize which photos it shows, I can do that. I can select my own photos. It'll let me select them. So it's just how detailed you want to get or how simple you want that to be.
And she has another question as well. If the lead enters their address via, where did it go? Where'd it go?
Of the lead enters an address in Ylopo will automatically be enrolled in homebot because Judy's been doing it manual. Do you want to give them a little bit of that update, Barry?
I wasn't
want me to do it. All right, I got it. So it depends, Judy. If it's one of your leads or something that you generated outside of Ylopo and bring it in and you put that address filled in and it's a one-off, you're going to have to do it manually. Ylopo just announced, Barry and I've been working with them on this. If it's a lead that Ylopo is generating through like PPC dynamic, we're now able to grab that, put it into Follow Up Boss, and automatically put it into homebot for the homebot report and for the seller experience. But it has to be one of the Ylopo generated. Now, if you have multiple though, like your past clients, a farming neighborhood, or a bunch of addresses that you get, you can actually just put those into a CSV, send them into Ylopo. There's a certain template for it, but they can all be mass uploaded for you.
Awesome. And then Dee asked a question, should we choose exposure or lead gen?
There's two different options.
Yeah.
It depends if you want exposure or if you want lead gen.
Right.
I would say that for me, when I'm running an ad for a seller, I'm doing it because I told them I would, not because I expect to sell the house off of the ad. And so I'm going to be appropriately selfish and also try to generate leads so that I can try to sell the home to them versus just getting a lot of people to see it. So that's my opinion, but every business needs different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
All right.
So I mean, I think that's perfect. I would just touch on it. It's not one size fits all. So if I'm the listing agent and I told the seller I'm going to do it, I'm going to probably do it for exposure because I want that exposure. I want to know if it's sold.
Right.
But again, I can go to another agent in my brokerage and ask them if I could advertise their listing with their permission. And now I can run one of these ads and do it for lead generation. Right. So it just really is, what is your goal? Like, it doesn't have to be one size fits all.
Exactly. All right. And then last question from, I believe, Connie asked, how can we show the ad to a potential seller, one we have no photos for?
One that you don't have photos for?
I mean, I think you could take a stock photo or you could take a picture of their home, drive by it, you know.
Well, the report that we were showing was one that we've listed and we've ran ads to. If you're wanting to show a seller, this is what I could do for you as well, I honestly would just grab a report from another listing and just bring that with you and say, I'll send you one of these after I list your home.
Yeah, we've also done some just in case the intent was maybe I don't have photos yet and I want to do something. So if coming soon's allowed, or maybe it's a vacant lot, I've also created ads where we've done community photos, right, of the area and things like that, promoting the area of the home. So it's just really, again, what is your intent or what are you wanting to do? But that's the great thing. I tell my agents, well, it's going to sell fast. I don't want to spend the $60. I'm like, first of all, I'll spend it. I want the promotion. I want the visibility, the brand awareness, because you get referrals and people seeing you because of that. And I'm going to use my past videos and those same reports and show a seller, because I don't have stats on their home yet. I can show them the potential. And now I can show them the report that I gave my previous sellers and how I'm going to follow up with them to monitor the activity.
Awesome. Well, I think we are running out of time, you guys, unless there's anything else you guys want to say about this beautiful seller suites that we have. And
this is a small tip.
I know, right? Gabe and Barry, we need to meet again, please, and talk more about, dive more into these different, seller tools we have, especially with other things besides the seller report and, the dynamic ads and all of that good stuff. I think it would be very helpful to everyone here.
Yeah, and Barry and I have been working on some exciting stuff to identify even more sellers and even get them closer to that appointment setting. So we need to get back. We've got a lot to share coming up.
Awesome, awesome.
Very exciting.
Well, hopefully we'll meet again soon.
Yes.
Yay. Awesome, guys. Thank
Absolutely.
you so much for your time. Appreciate you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks, see you.